Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. On today's episode, Gabe will be talking about how to build a website that generates leads for your business. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in and enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well and that your week's off to a good start and that you've been able to make the most out of February because we've got just a few days left. The short months always make me get focused and think about what I want to accomplish. And so hope you've been able to do that as well. And today, what we're going to talk about is, how to actually get your website to generate leads for you. You can build a website that can consistently generate leads, whether you have one now or you are, considering building one, or you're looking at updating a website. These are important things to keep in mind. And whoever you choose to work with, just make sure that they are, being following these principles, because if you use these principles, you'll have the opportunity to get a lot of consistent leads from your website. And if you don't, then you're going to invest time and money and not get anything out of it. And if you do need help with your website, either an update, building a new website, anything on that front, definitely reach out to us at businessmarketingengine.com or comment down below or shoot me a message, because I'd be glad to help you. But the first thing is to make sure that you pay attention to who you're trying to serve. We talk about this a lot here at Business Marketing Engine, but what's key is that you remember that in order to be successful in any marketplace, you need to deepen your relationship with your audience. And so in order to know what's going to work, what's going to be successful, start out by realizing, okay, first I need to deepen my relationship with my audience, find out what they need, what problems they're trying to solve, how they're talking about the problems that they are trying to solve, so you know what language they use. And if you've been in your industry for a while, there's probably two things going on. One is that you probably know essentially what your audience needs, but you also may at the same time have gotten used to your own kind of industry language or your own, internal company language that you use to talk about the problems that you solve for folks. And it's easy for us, even me, having been an entrepreneur for 20 plus years now, there's times that I forget, that some of the clients I serve don't think about business or marketing the way that I do. And so I need to just reorient myself and have more of those conversations and realign to the audience I'm trying to serve so that I understand the language they use. This is really key, because if your audience is using one term for something and you're using something completely different, when they land on your website and they take a look at what you're offering, if you're using the terminology you use, but that they don't use, they're going to feel that disconnect. They might understand what you're saying, they may not. But ultimately, you want to make sure that you are connecting with them on their level, using the language that they use, and that's going to make it easier for them to understand what you're offering. It's also going to make it easier for them to trust you and consider working with you. So always, in our mind, the foundation is, and in my experience, our mind here at Business Marketing Engine, and in my experience, is really be conscious of deepening that relationship with your audience, because that's going to make everything else easier. So that's the first thing that you need to, just really be conscious of. What does my audience really need right now? And am I going to be able to speak to that in a language that they understand? Once you have that nailed down, the next thing to pay attention to, and these are just again, like three principles to look at throughout the process of building a website or updating a website that you need to update. The second thing is make sure that you have multiple clear calls to action on the website. So if you look at your sales process that you want to create, or the sales process that you currently have, odds are there's a consistent pattern of what normally happens. Folks may either fill out a contact form, fill out the details of their project or their needs, and then you contact them that way. Or it may be best practices for you to, get on a call or, meet them over video or in person, whatever your business structure is, and get to know them first, and then be able to make recommendations and, and propose options to them. Whichever path you typically see in your sales cycle, make sure that you have a clear call to action that tells them to take that step. So imagining if you want to get on a discovery call with your clients, you then all through your site say, click here to book your free discovery call, and we'll analyze your needs and propose solutions, and make that something that's multiple times throughout your homepage, up in the header, in the footer, in different articles and things that you're posting on the site. Make that consistent in multiple places, because when done well, you in a sense want to lean a little bit heavier to having that call to action multiple places on the site, compared to it just being one or two spots. That's going to make the prospect have to work to find it. They're not going to find it. They're going to bounce away and do something else instead of contacting you. Whereas if you're really consistent and have that call to action, that's a clear next step that you want them to take throughout the site, then you're going to get more conversion from that. So whether it's you want that discovery call, whether it's you want them to fill out a form to request a quote, whatever the next step is, just be clear about what it is and list that multiple times across your site. That call to action, when consistent, is going to drive more leads for you as well. And the third thing is, that will help you generate leads from your website, is to make sure that you're consistently driving traffic to it. So traffic can come from multiple different sources. You can organically reach out to people and give them, a landing page on your site, or give them, a page on your site that clearly communicates what you do. And if you consistently do that and you reach out to a handful of people every day and say, here's who I serve, how I can help you. If you're interested, check out the site. You can learn more here. That's a way of organically just consistently driving your own traffic. The other things that work, that's kind of a baseline way you can start if you don't have a large budget yet. Another way to get good results on that front is to pay for Facebook ads, for Google ads, LinkedIn ads, YouTube ads. There's a bunch of different ad platforms, but those are some of the big ones. And those are the ones that we use often for our clients to help them drive that targeted traffic. Because the nice thing about those platforms is, if you know that you serve 45-year-old women who are interested in, dachshunds, you can essentially define targeting or anything around that you want to target those folks that are interested in a specific thing. And when you find that, you can run advertising campaigns against that demographic, and you're going to get to be in front of the people that you want to serve, whether it's in the consumer space like that, or if you B2B and you serve people with, a specific type of machinery or a business process or things like that. You have the ability to target them directly through these paid ad platforms. And what's key there is to set a budget that you can maintain for the long term, and not try to create these big spikes or these big events where you're going to, spend a ton of money and send a ton of traffic, and then lower your budget, and then pause, and then wait a few months and start again. That kind of approach just makes things really sporadic and inconsistent for as far as traffic and those folks who are going to visit your site. It'd be, I'd rather see somebody, instead of spending like a few $1,000s or even $5,000 or $10,000 over a month or two for a huge promotion and then stop, I'd rather see somebody spend $1,000 a month all year, because that long-term ongoing traffic is what's going to build results for you over time. And that's typically a more effective approach. But again, it's really key just to have a plan to consistently drive traffic. You can do it through organic search engine optimization as well. That's something that we like helping our clients with. In the long run, that's more affordable, but it takes some time to get traction from just doing organic search. And also, you can use traditional media like direct mail or radio or television to drive people to your website. All of those are options that we help our clients with. And what's key is knowing, who you want to interact with, who you want to serve in the audience. When you drive traffic to your site, you then obviously want to make sure that there's clear calls to action of the next steps that you want them to take. And ultimately, if you're consistent in driving traffic, you're going to be able to get results and leads over time from your website. So if you're stuck with your website and haven't gotten good results from it, or are not sure what to do, definitely just go ahead and reach out. You can shoot us a message. You can comment down below. You can shoot me a message on any of the social media platforms here, or you can go over to businessmarketingengine.com and reach us there. You can fill out the contact form, and we'd be glad to talk to you about anything that you have going on with your website that you need help with, so that it can become a producing asset for you and something that will really help your marketing. So thanks so much for tuning in today, and we will see you tomorrow.